quite warm.
I think we've been walking around. I feel cold quick enough. You've got them on full.
No, I haven't. You can go a lot brighter if you like.
No, I think it's already too bright.
Or do something about it. Stop complaining to the captain. If you need to pull the sail down, my goodness.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, it's not too dark, is it?
Is it? Yeah, we turn it up again.
No. I was being facetious.
I know.
Like you were.
No.
Oh, no, of course not. Some good bargains there.
Yep.
We'll have chicken soup forever.
You can't fit any more in that freezer.
Is this your coffee?
Can't remember. Might be.
Yes, you're punishing me. First the lights, now the coffee.
No.
Yes.
Oh, looks different. Or maybe I accidentally...
It's okay.
I think I might have put them in the wrong cup, actually.
Oh, well, you'd know on top it'd be swirly. With coffee bits floating around. Wonder how Buttercup's back yesterday.
Something's buzzing.
Do, 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 do. Chocolate. Yes.
That biscuit there is in the camera shot. And I thought it was something on my phone and I'm trying to get rid of it.
Good luck.
Yes, I don't buy the iced ones often because I'm not really into them anymore. But have you noticed how small they make them now?
Yeah, I think the,
Sure.
I think the container is even smaller.
It
Oh, yeah,
is.
for $1.50, I can argue.
No, but I'm just like,
It's about 20 cents a donut. You can't buy any cheaper.
why are you buzzing? I can hear you. Oh, I told Mel and Buddy you're on, but
That might be working.
yeah,
But he might be still sore.
it's got to be the weekend dessert, actually, Mel's.
It was nearly a normal day today. We had a daughter and granddaughter over.
I have a feeling Em will send William to school because she's driving
Mark
him
said
nuts.
he wants to send him to school.
But he's just like,
I did say it to Mark, just be cautious. Yes. We went hunting with a
hunter-gatherer.
weapon Mel. Speared this one, speared that one. We'll have more chicken soup to feed the galaxy. Yes. Bargain. Those soup packs are normally like, I think they're $4.50 or something. Chicken's normally 10.
And I'll pull them apart tomorrow. That's my job because I'm fussy
Yes.
with that.
We have a little bit of chocolate. Lots of chocolate. We're having a coffee. I'm probably going to procure a chocolate donut as reward. Shop was quiet too.
Oh, that's because the time we went down. It's nearly 8.
Yeah,
It is 8.
Went down about 7:30. Quiet as a mouse. I didn't even show the 2 pork pies I garnished for $1.
Oh, you didn't show them?
No, because they're mine.
Yeah, well, you can have those.
How did Jess find the bed?
Oh, comfortable.
Hello, hi. You do realise all those trout are social distancing from you as well. Yeah, all going well here. Big talk here in Australia. I'm sure it's in New Zealand, the first 2 countries to open up. There's going to be a boom in New Zealand. It will help New Zealand no end.
Oh, hopefully both ways.
Yeah, could be an influx of NZers for tourism because we feel safe with each other. That means you can get out fishing. We had another 1 death in our state, but we've got like 8 deaths, I think, and 7 of them have been off boats. So poor old cruise ships have been horrendous.
Oh, you'll be camping out there for 3 days then.
That's good. I mean, I would have thought they could have not had that restriction. Yeah, it's terrible. I think I'd read an article online today, we've had 75 deaths, I think, in Australia. And about 55 of them are off cruise ships.
Most from New South Wales.
Oh, it should be perfect for fishing now. Should be absolutely brilliant. Cooler air, bit of activity from the fish.
You still got coffee left?
Yeah, I'm just going to show how I can't get the type of lure. There. Try that on your hook. Nah, eat it before you fish. That's good, mate. It's very hard for people who love doing something not to be able to do it.
It was, I just had one. It was yum. I don't buy them often.
No. We got some bargains tonight. Shop was empty. Got soup packs, normally $4.50. I got them for 10 cents. And 2 chickens, they were $3.50 each, cooked chooks. So a lot of chicken soup is going to be made. Or I'll just use one of them and you can...
Freeze them. Put them in the bags and freeze them. Yeah. I'll just pull it all apart and you can decide tomorrow.
I was just thinking that there'd be quite a few people bustling to get out there. But yeah, if you make that extra effort, you should have most of it to yourself.
Wow, an hour and 10-minute walk. I'd do that. I'd walk with you. Oh, I know. I mean, even I get like that some days, even though I've got a lot to keep me busy.
Yeah, our restrictions are probably nearly the same as yours. We can't leave areas. You can still go to the shop, go to the chemist, but not much else. This is Friday night. Not a sound to be heard. Look at that plane coming in with
Yeah.
a cloud above it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Still got a little bit of air traffic, but it's mainly just within the state for mines and such. Because no one can get into each other's states, and our state is divided into about 16 areas, and you can't leave one to go to the other. They're talking about allowing school children back at school,
Wednesday.
but you don't have to send your children.
No.
So we'll see how that goes. I think a lot of people will still err on the side of caution.
Yeah, but then I think there's a lot of
Yeah, they
people.
were good. Lamb and veggie pies. Oof.
I think a lot of people are going to maybe send them because,
Driving them nuts.
yeah. But like you can't walk them in. The younger ones, I don't know how they're going to do that. But with the kids have to walk in on, like you're dropping at the gate, which is fine with William, but can't do that with Luella.
It was funny, and even tonight I checked. I didn't need any pastry tonight, but I went and checked the pastry section. Completely empty.
Still.
Empty. It's like they've gone from toilet paper to pastry.
Well, there was a heap of toilet paper there. Unless they
Nah,
stacked
I
it
reckon they're starting to
tonight.
wipe their ass with the softer stuff. Unbelievable. Who hoards pastry? So it's been a few years since I made it, but you don't forget. Yeah. See, the problem I have with kids going to school is that it's not the kids. Kids will just be kids. But they made a provision here, Hi, that if you're over 50 and a teacher, you don't have to go and work. They'll pay you. So they're working on the theory that they'll protect the most vulnerable. But, you know, people below 50 get this as well. I say kids inadvertently might be asymptomatic and they don't even know, and they're not meaning to harm anyone. But
No, and kids are
we
kids.
start seeing a whole heaps of teachers going down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Teachers are more at risk. Bus drivers. There's a whole list of litany things that go on the end of this that the kids are not at fault.
No, especially how many people actually stayed home with their kids these 2 weeks? Well,
I think it would have been,
three.
it would have been tough for some parents. They're so used to, let's call it what it is, having a babysitter for 8 hours
And
then picking them up.
there are some parents that had to take their kids because they're single parents.
Yeah. I was reading in Melbourne, there's a group of single mothers who work in the city. And they've been going, someone's got a big bongo van, they've all been going together, they're only associating with each other, and they go to different offices, but they take their kids with them, they've got a laptop next to them,
Oh.
and the kid does their schoolwork. But they don't stay at work all day. I think they're working 4 hours, which is enough for kids to do their stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. You've got to work around it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, that it's been a bane of society to leave the education and caring both up to teachers. It's a tough job. You know, trying to split 30 personalities in the class, because kids all have different personalities. And I think parents have realised, those that have never had their kids home during the working week, and they're home with the kids, that, man, it's a bit of a task. They want attention all the time. Feed me. And all the kids we know will be jumping on to games on their computer, as well as learning stuff from school. But kids don't need any more, because they have a very short attention span. I truly believe you could send your kids to school from 9 and pick them up at lunchtime. They'd have all the education they'd ever need. But that means you don't have a babysitter. And I don't think that will change much. Oh, it's kids' attention span for learning. All the professors and scientists have come up with the same result. Kids learn more between 9 and 12. They don't really want to concentrate after lunchtime, after eating and playing. They're still thinking about the playing and their mates and kicking the ball around. Come 2 o'clock, they have another break. Then they go home at 3 or 3:30. Yeah, I would decree that if I was in power, that teachers certainly get paid what they're paid, if not more, because they are glorified babysitters. Or we introduce a new school week, 9 till lunchtime. Because, like I say, it's just glorified babysitting.
Well,
Beyond
it is,
that.
but the problem is everybody's so used to this now. If you were to change that, that would just affect so many of the single parents who work during school hours.
I know.
What do you do there?
Well, you've got to work around it. But see, most children learn social skills from their parents, their friends, their family friends, kids. At school, a lot of kids don't like each other. Outside of school, they get to choose who they play with and talk to. In school, they don't have a choice. They could have a bully, etc. Teachers get paid well in Australia. Niece is a teacher.
Yeah.
She's on about 85 grand a year.
Yep.
At least that.
And she only works 4 days a week.
Mm. But if I was babysitting, I'd charge $60 an hour, minimum.
Oh, I'm not selling my kids to you. You're an expensive babysitter.
Well, most people earn $500 a day. Why shouldn't teachers? They earn more than that.
Yeah, you charge that, but you wouldn't pay that.
No way.
There you go. So how does that work then?
Well, there's another way to do this. That is to introduce the shortest school week, but pay a parent, not mum or dad, but a parent, to stay home. So they have a 3 or 4 hour job, stay home for the rest of the day, and you get paid 4 or 5 hours looking after their kids, because the teachers are getting paid to look after them.
I was going to go toilet.
Yeah, well, you remember when you were at school, and I do when I was at school. I was never bullied, and I was never a bully, because I was too big to get bullied. But all these different personalities, nasty kids, smart-ass kids, kids you wouldn't outside of school mix with. That's what I'm saying. A lot of kids go to school and they're pretty scared of the big bully of the school, or several of them. But we pay teachers to look after our kids as well as educate them. Why don't we just pay teachers to educate them and pay a parent to stay home after lunch, say pay them 5 hours pay, instead of paying the teacher to be the babysitter? Some countries only have a 4-hour school day. So the argument about, oh, how do we work it out? Well, you probably need less teachers if you did it that way. And I think the option to teach your kids at home has been shown. Quite a few people are quite happy with it. Like, there are single mums who don't work, and they've quite enjoyed the company of their kids at home. I think the option should be, can you do remote learning? And this is how I would look at it. What about every Friday, all the kids go to school? From Monday till Thursday, those who want to educate from home can do so. That Friday at school will allow teachers to catch up with kids that aren't normally in the class. I think you'd have half the classroom full for most of the week, and of course full on Friday. Now, there's a great push around the Western world to have a 4-day working week. It's been going on for about 10 years now. And it might happen. It gives the opportunity for more people to work. If you take 1 day out of 1 million people, well, you've basically got 200,000 new jobs. That's how it works out. And everyone has a bit more leisure time to go fishing. Yeah, mine was all pencil, pen, paper. No, we weren't allowed a calculator. They came out in the early 70s. If you were caught with one, you'd be suspended. Now you have to have one.
And
Isn't it weird?
notebook and all the other stuff. Where's my Mel gone? She's not done a be right back.
No. She's probably gone down to Coles. So she
Yeah.
can pick up a bargain.
It's different Coles.
But I'm pleased you'd be able to chuck that line in the water again, mate. That'll spark up your day. Yeah, I think you'll find, either New Zealand and Australia will start to click together on quite a few things. I think a lot of people have realised, because of our location on the planet, we can control a lot of things. I hope between our two countries, manufacturing starts to kick up again. Yeah, I think she's been very smart. I mean, even though we have federal decisions being made, our state premiers have done a great job as well. I think so. I mean, tomorrow, well, today for you, it's Anzac Day, and most of us are going to go down the end of our driveways with a candle, about 5 minutes to 6, and on my phone, I will play that tune.
I thought I should have grabbed candles.
We got candles.
Where?
Those little tea light ones.
Where?
I don't know, wherever you put them.
No, I haven't. Oh, I've got one.
Yeah, I was just saying, it'd be Anzac Day now with you.
I have. In the cupboard.
This doesn't compare to Anzacs, but it certainly parallels tough times. We're living through history. Doesn't make any of us heroes. It just means we lived through this period. And I I think you'll probably see on your news millions of Australians standing at the end of their driveway just with a candle. So there are no dawn services allowed in Australia. There are no wreaths even to be laid. There is the Australian War Memorial Ceremony, but it's going to be pretty sparse. No one's going to be there other than the participants. Yeah, that's true. Could be a parallel in the wording about this pandemic, lest we forget. Some of the numbers coming out of countries are just staggering. Africa's going to be a nightmare. We know Indonesia says nothing, but it's terrible there. No. But we may look back to this period that we've got a little bit of community sparked back, maybe just a bit, because we just about lost it all. Yeah, I think we'll be using the words the new normal. Supermarket will regulate the amount of people. Look, I tell you one statistic, and I was saying it the other night to the guys. In a 6-month period from November till now, we would normally have in Australia 1,800 people pass away from either viral or bacterial pneumonia. That's normal. 1,800 in that 6-month period. We've had 50. Which means the social distancing has not only helped us with this virus, it's prevented people catching what they would normally catch each year. It's a staggering difference, 1,800 down to 50. Pretty sure it'll be the same in New Zealand. Yeah, there's nothing other than tourism in Queenstown. We've been there. The locals couldn't afford the prices at the restaurants. Sure, they get some government help, but it's a big hit for places like Queenstown. I mean, Christchurch has normal work. It's not the biggest tourist place in the world, but people do go there. Yeah, what will happen? Aussies are going to fill up Queenstown. That's what will happen. You mark my words. Aussies will do trips for a month or two, travelling around. Your roads are going to be full of Australians.
Oh, it's like New Zealand. They're greeting. That must be hard for them. You know how they greet
The haka?
Yeah.
Well,
the nose rubbing.
Well, no, I guarantee you they're still doing that as far as family members.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, you're going to have a big boost. Australians, like New Zealanders, travel all over the world all the time. There's something like 700,000 people repatriated over the last 6 weeks from all parts of the world. So at any given time, there's about 1 million Aussies out there. Yeah, you're always welcome us, and then you stab us in the back. I'm only kidding. We'll take the piss out of you as you will take it out of us. And that's good, healthy, robust relationship.
Oh dear.
The last joke I heard it was actually from a New Zealand comedian. He said, you know how New Zealanders improved their sex life? Do you? I'm telling you. They're all buying sheepskins from Australia and strapping it to the wife's back. Now, that was a New Zealander telling the joke. I thought that was funny. Australians call them sheepskins. We call them love-aids. I don't see New Zealanders or Australians travelling anywhere else for about 1.5, 2 years. You will literally become, as we will become, part of New Zealand. And it's a good thing. Yeah, I think, because the UK obviously is going through a horrid time, where nothing's going to happen there for a while. But I already know, you're back now, but you're not going to be right back. No.
Now.
I do know that New Zealand and Australia will benefit from the new trade negotiation between the UK and New Zealand and Australia, because they already started talks last year. So we've got to start manufacturing stuff in both our countries.
I gave you 2 stars. Do I owe you 3? Did you do a be right back?
You've been gone for about 30 minutes, so I reckon you went down to Coles, didn't you? I know you, Mel. I know what you've done. You've got a kitchen full of bargains. Hello, VMAC.
There's me chocolate buddy.
Ribs, yum. They go on special every now and then. I don't buy them at the normal price, nor do you, I imagine.
Did you see Seed's video of VMAC?
Of?
Didn't you do the
You're
download?
talking about the end bit of that video, yeah.
They had ribs.
Nice and slow. Around about 140, 130 degrees. Basted.
Look, VMAC.
Chocolate.
Chocolate coated donuts, VMAC. I've just had one. I'm going to have another one in a minute.
I did buy 2 big packs of veggie soup mix, turnips, parsnips, celery, carrots, onions. Normally $4.50 VMAC, 10 cents. And 2 chickens, normally $10, got them for $3.50. I could feed all of you, and you'd all be taking little doggy bags home.
How you been, VMAC?
Well, the weather should be getting better. Yeah, I think lots of people are.
Well, as you know, you can't get pastry.
No, it's good. I mean, high cooks anyway, but a lot of people don't normally cook. We're good. We actually had a normal day today. We didn't do any work around the property, and we had one of our daughters and granddaughter.
2 granddaughters.
2 granddaughters. I do apologise, forget about the baby. And it was good. So we haven't really seen anyone. Show.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to look at dinner. I buy them ribs, Mel, but when they're marked down, too damn expensive. Yum. There's definitely some plum or jam been used in that process, because that's marinated. Wrap your laugh and get you around that.
There's 2 more photos.
Is it? Oh, baby backs, look at them. Look at them. Cook slowly, off the heat. Melt in your mouth. Oh, and then Mel's done some fancy stuff to add to it. Yum. The thing about them, Mel, and you know, and your husband knows, let's say you have half a rib rack left. You tend to drift back to the fridge every now and then, just to have a couple. Before you know it, you've left just a one very small tail end rib in the fridge on a very large plate, and look at each other and say, what happened to them?
Yeah, that's usually what happens with my chocolate.
Yes. They looked delicious, slow cooked, beautiful. Seared first, marinated, basted. Was there any chilli in the marinade, Mel? You can't beat slow, though. Slow cooking is good eating. Shit sauce.
Right, you be right back.
How's wiping benches? I just asked if there was any chilli in the marinade. No, no chilli. Looks like honey, some type of plum jam, herbs, and basted over and over.
So weird.
What's happening in your part of the world, VMAC? Any normality look like it could be kicking in?
Mel didn't cook them, so she sort of can't remember.
Oh, okay. They look good.
Sounds like rain. It is.
I think we're getting a little sprinkle.
We are.
Make yourself some chili sauce. Hi. Not much new today. You make all types of chili sauce. Make sure you get your chilies at a bargain or grow it yourself. I do two types. I make a fermented chili sauce and I make a cooked chili sauce. Uh-oh. We have lights. Can't see them. Yes, this is Christmas. Never enough sriracha. I like all types of chili sauces, as you're probably all aware of. I put it on everything but cornflakes. San Chow Bao. Oh. You're not going to go hungry at Mel's house, guys. You probably need to put that solid on the top of the,
Yeah,
on the angle like it is now, facing that way.
yeah, here in the corner.
Yeah, just in the middle is fine. That's what it's a lot of sun.
I just think the wind will blow it off. It gets windy.
No. No, the other way. You want the panel face. If you look at my hand, look, you need the panel facing that way.
I know, but it's a bit hard to.
I'll show you. It's easier to show you.
We can do it tomorrow.
There you go. Actually, the solar lights we've had for ages. They're good. I'll show you. Sun Chow Bao. How do I turn this damn thing around? That way. That way. They come on. Actually, you don't see it, but they actually do offer a little bit of ambient light down there. You can walk around with that. That's really cool. Wish this lawn would stop growing. It's unbelievable.
Dusty.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't expensive. We always look for bargains. Those big ones were like $3 each. lot of these cheap shops have clearances of solar stuff every now and then because they just sit there.
Mel's eating last night's san chow bao.
San Chow Bao?
What the hell is that, Mel?
Go on, tell him. It's chow, as in Chihuahua.
Oh, it's not.
San, as it comes from San Francisco, Chihuahua. And bao is the last thing it makes before it's cooked.
Mm.
Woof.
Oh.
It's
pork.
nice, actually.
So, and you fry the pork meats, obviously, and add herbs and spices and stuff like that.
Garlic, onions, soy, whatever you want. There's all different types of san bao. Chow is just food. So a little bit of rain. Sweetie, I've got to mow that lawn another couple of days. Down the other side, it's about 3 or 4 inches high.
Well, how the ground was prepped, they did a good job.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's also good for you because there's no carbs. It's protein and a bit of a lettuce leaf. Chinese mainly make the cabbage type version, which is just as nice actually. It's like a cabbage taco. In a lot of Asian countries they make pork mince, flavourings, onions, chilies, rice, and sweat the cabbage leaf down, fold it over. That's pretty yum with the dipping sauce.
I did, but all the rain we're getting.
Yeah, it was just a passing cloud. I think there's a bit pieces around, but it's not settling in or anything. So a couple more weeks, we've ordered our shed for the back garden, just a garden shed. I hate those, it's only 3 metres by 3 metres or 10 by 10 in the old language, but it's 8 foot high. I hate garden sheds where I've got a duck. It's just a pain in the ass. So at least this will be, I'll be able to stand up without banging my head. My wife's getting the clothesline delivered at the same time. Will be a clothesline ceremony. But the weather's days have been really good, 25, 26, not hot, not cold. So the air conditioner worked pretty quick, it got cool quick, didn't it? The lounge one. We tried the lounge aircon today.
Yeah, the fan's okay. I don't, depending on the weather, I don't think you need to close all the doors though.
I still think,
Because I had it swinging for you, like, that way.
I still think in the peak of summer, when it's really, really hot, we'll just go to the front lounge.
Yeah.
Because it's small, it's comfortable.
But the other thing is, obviously, close the doors then. It's just I like doors open, that's why.
Yeah, I know.
So VMAC, you're a bit late starting your day.
Well, maybe she got a day off. Doesn't have to work every day. So she can go to work anytime she likes. Actually, they're calling for contact tracers in Australia. When you work from home, you're given a data sheet, contact people that have had the virus, contact them, see who else, get their numbers, and then send all the data back for people to take action. There's plenty of those jobs. Good policy, BMAC.
Oh, of course, it's Friday morning there, Friday night here.
I got up probably about 5 this morning. Birds were chirping. It doesn't get light till probably about 6:15 now.
Doesn't feel like a Friday night.
It's very quiet.
There's something buzzing somewhere.
There's a moth up there. I haven't seen any caterpillars the last few days.
No, I surface sprayed. They're all in that corner down there of the ramp.
Right. Hiding.
No, dead probably.
You killed a caterpillar. Could have been a beautiful butterfly.
No,
Okay.
not them.
Hello, Danny. Have a great day.
Yes, don't work too hard. Doing a drive-by.
You can hear that puppy dog again, though.
Yeah, but not as much as that other night.
I don't know why they're leaving a poor bugger outside if he's just a puppy. He's probably crapped on the floor or something, being punished.
I haven't actually heard him for days.
It's terrible. You can hear the train. So quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, except for the buzzing I can hear.
Well, our plans is just before 6, be in the driveway with a candle,
Oh, God, I don't know.
playing the last post on my phone. There are no ceremonies.
Yeah, probably we'll be the only ones out there. Don't have,
I think you'd be surprised.
don't have it too loud.
Yeah. It's quite a big day in Australia, but not this year. I actually have eaten today Anzac biscuits. They were quite good. I've seen a comedy sketch, a New Zealand comedy company, and they had the diggers in the trenches, Aussies and the New Zealanders. And the Aussie says, oh, look, the wife sent me a big box of Anzac biscuits. Absolutely wonderful. What did you get, Terry? Terry was in New Zealand, and he holds up this about 3 foot wide pavlova. Oh, not much. This'll do, though.
Can't stop yawning.
I suppose the equivalency in the US is Memorial Day. We've got 2 days in Australia. 11th day of the 11th month, 11th hour,
That's Remembrance
Remembrance.
Day.
and Anzac Day, 25th of April. The November one is to celebrate the end of the war. Yep, same here, VMAC.
It's a fly. He's just fallen down the crack of the thing.
He's trapped forever.
He's gone. He's in the darkness.
I'd say out of 25 million Aussies, probably 5 million would go to services,
So,
but no one's going anywhere. Like I say, they're having the memorial service at the War Museum in Canberra,
so,
but that's only a televised event.
so Canada's the same as us. Does America do
America
Remembrance Day?
has Memorial Day, which I think has only just recently gone. Similar process behind it.
Yeah, but,
But Canadians are Commonwealth like us, that's why they celebrate. The Remembrance Day is celebrated 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of the Commonwealth.
of the end of the war.
Armistice,
Am-
not amethyst,
amethyst.
no.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's just remembered on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month,
Yeah.
Remembrance Day.
Most, they don't really close a lot. But the RSL clubs do things on that day.
2 up.
Return service for league. Yeah, that's the only day we can play 2 up.
Which is thrown 2 pennies in the air, betting on either both tails or both heads, or betting tails and heads.
Isn't it funny how that's the only time you can play that, or whatever you want to call it?
Because it's kept special. That's
Yeah,
right.
do that on that day anywhere in Australia. Yet 2 up, well, it used to be in the casino.
Yeah, big
Anytime
ring.
you wanted. So Canada, like us, has Remembrance Day.
Yep, part of the Commonwealth.
America doesn't do that, but they have
Well, the
July
Americans,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, everything. Yeah, same for us.
you stand still wherever you are.
Yeah. Yep.
And we're like Canadians, and they fought alongside Aussies, but we have a tradition between New Zealand and Australia. We're called the Anzacs,
Yeah, that's
Australian and New Zealand Army Corps Service. Yeah, they tend to tie in
Oh,
celebration of the
Okay.
fallen with sales. 4th of July, Independence Day.
Why, we don't do that.
We have Australia Day.
Well, we don't, but yeah.
Which fireworks go off all over the country, but not many went off this year. Yep, that's right. That's how we treat it. Anzac Day is the most sombre day for
Yep.
Australians and New Zealanders. What's it like with the pandemic in Canada at the moment, VMAC? Is it getting under control? Different in different provinces. I was reading today. That's good. We've had like 70 odd deaths in Australia. 50 something of them, 55, came off cruise ships. I do not know who's going to go on a cruise after this. There'll be some real bargains for sure.
That one cruise is getting investigated.
Mm.
It's criminal
I
investigation.
mean, out of the 70, one cruise ship called the Ruby Princess
That's the one.
had something like 800 cases, and they had about 20 odd deaths just on one cruise ship. We had one that came to Western Australia when it shouldn't have, my state, and they had something like 5 deaths on there, and we've only had 8 deaths altogether.
Yeah, but they weren't allowed to disembark.
It certainly means that the industry is going to have to look at their ventilation systems without doubt. 800 cases. Yeah. And the crew today left the port, and something like 11 were kept because they're seriously ill with the virus. Yep. That's why I think before they'll be allowed to reopen, they're going to have to organise their air conditioning, literally. We've been on them. They're good fun, but we wouldn't do any more than a week. I think we did 4 days. But that's enough. It's good fun, entertainment. We only ate in the restaurants, not in the buffet.
I know we did have some buffet, but we,
Oh, but first in the morning we grabbed breakfast, but
oh yeah.
we didn't eat every meal though.
Yeah, the air circulator is, well, if I was to ever do a cruise again, I'd only take a balcony room anyway. I wouldn't take one of those inner rooms. I couldn't do it.
No, we always had a balcony.
Oh man, if I was stuck on that boat in a room, I would have gone nuts. No way could I have handled it.
But I think our next trip will be to New Zealand.
Well, maybe we can fly straight to Canada. Canada might be safe in 12 months.
There won't be any international flights for quite a while. Yeah.
Yep.
They're just, I mean,
That's
if
right,
we
baby.
weigh up what they are, they're a floating hotel. Not much more. They have entertainment.
Yeah.
I can see the Commonwealth eventually doing agreements with each other for international flights, i.e. Canada, Australia, UK, and a few others, but not many more others, where until there's a clarification of safety, New Zealand and Australia will resume flights soon. I'm saying in the next 2 or 3 months, without doubt. Aussies want to go on holiday, so New Zealand's going to be flooded of Australians.
Yeah, I wonder what Joe P will do if he's going to end up still going to England.
Not sure. I think that's not going to be on the cards.
You mean because it's not his choice?
I don't think he'll have a choice. I think one of the things that Aussies will flock to is you can buy a card which gets you ferries, trains, buses. It's a fairly cheap holiday for a lot of Aussies. Yeah, I think New Zealand and Australia will open up together. I think there'll be qualifications, like you won't be able to leave New Zealand or vice versa to come to Australia unless you're checked. Make sure that you're not sick. And, they'll probably apply sort of rules on board the plane with masks and things like that. No, the US is just...
Yeah, I can't blame him, but mate.
I'm angry about the US, how they've been so poorly led. Some governors have done a good job. But people wanted to go back as it's not even peaked yet in their states. It's just madness.
Well, let them do it. They've only got themselves to blame. As long as they don't turn around, go back, and then turn around and whinge at their leaders and say, you should have done this, you should have done that. Well, listen to your leaders to start with, that they did do lockdowns.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a numerous amount of cricket tests between New Zealand and Australia for quite a number of years. And rugby, netball, soccer.
Let the US do what they want, just don't come near them. And we won't go there.
What do you mean?
Like, if people want to go out
yeah,
like
well,
normal again.
Well, we've got to be honest, the US is the centre of this pandemic now. Yeah, no, it's...
Okay there, mate.
I don't think anyone, whether it's plates or citizenship papers, they won't allow them in. Australia and New Zealand has got options, man, because we do care for and try and help the Pacific area. There's lots of places, Suva, Fiji, New Caledonia. There's a lot of those places that will get a lot of tourists after they're cleared of the pandemic.
Yeah,
So it'll be like, basically, in the south, we'll be going on holiday down the south.
Well, again, but you've got to think of if they're going to open up, it depends who they open up to. It's like Vanuatu already had, before all this happened, already had strict rules that you had to prove you weren't sick when you go there. Did you know that?
Good. There's nothing wrong with that.
So Vanuatu already had those very strict rules to go there on holiday.
How I think it will work for the Commonwealth is that if we, say, flew to the UK, we would have to spend 2 weeks in isolation, even in a year's time, and be cleared.
Then I'd be thinking twice about doing it, because I don't want to
Well, if you're going for a few months, two weeks isn't that bad.
No, but still, fly all that way and be isolated for 2 weeks before you can go out and do anything.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't bother going.
Yeah, it's going to be a time factor, for sure. What I haven't heard of, because on UK television, they don't include the south of Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. They only include Northern Ireland.
Yeah, well, we're a bit the same there, Mac, actually.
You could end up with a passport that says the words Commonwealth clearance. In other words, you can go to Commonwealth countries. Member states of the Commonwealth, some are not in a good position. It's quite an irony. This time last year we were planning, before we changed our mind to go later, we were planning to be in New York in April.
Yes. Yeah, because April, May you decided, and then
Yeah.
I changed, said, no, I want to go for Halloween.
Mm.
And then I said, when they started, no, we're not booking nothing nowhere.
No.
Oh, look, when it gets a little bit better, the first thing we will do is just go a couple of days, 3-4 days somewhere. You know, here. Oh,
Yeah.
down south or something.
No, that's what I'm saying. It'll be
Yeah.
a Commonwealth clearance. In other words, you'll have probably out of the member states, well, I imagine Canada will be good in 4 to 5 months. Australia will be, New Zealand. There could be international flights between those countries, is what I'm saying. Give somewhere for Canadians to go, and Australians and New Zealanders.
Yeah.
The UK, I don't think for quite a while. I think quite a while. I don't see many Canadians coming here in January and February, though. Man, it's hot. We've got quite a few friends in Canada. Looking forward to catching up with them, but not yet.
Actually, that's where a lot of Deb's relatives are.
Yeah,
I just realised.
yeah.
She's got a couple of uncles and aunties over there.
Yeah, no, I think it will be a case-by-case thing, VMAC. Obviously, the big three outside of the UK are Canada, Australia and New Zealand, let's be honest.
I agree, VMAC. China's off my list too. I had a bit of a bucket list of where I'd like to have gone. I mean, goodness knows when we'll get to go to Indonesia to visit Matina now.
Whew, that's probably just about completely written off, to be honest. They're just not being honest about this. There's people dying everywhere in Indonesia. And they're our closest neighbour, bar New Zealand.
Well, the Balinese think it's all sorted because they don't want to lose tourism, especially from Australia.
Yeah,
Because
just...
M has a driver that they always use.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him the other night, and
Closed, everything's finished.
no, he said, "No, it's all good here. Well, we've hardly any whatever." And they said to him, "Do you realise you obviously don't get told the news?"
Yeah. No Aussies are going to Bali, and we usually fill the place up.
Okay, real life calls.
Good to see you, VMAC. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Enjoy your day.
She's going to go and look at flights to Australia for a holiday.
Yes, your Prime Minister has been good. I still haven't come across, and I have to, maybe it's on YouTube now. She did a speech directed at children, and apparently it was awesome. And I actually was trying to find it so that I could listen to it.
There was a guy on the radio this morning telling a Jay. He said the good thing about New Zealand and Australia is that they're both run by women. Of course, Scott Morrison's a bloke, but he's a big girl. Yep.
Yeah, because I actually never thought maybe that speech is on her Facebook page. I'll have to have a look.
The thing is, Hyde, that the one thing that New Zealand and Australia have done is before we were told to self-isolate, we were doing it. The kids weren't at school. You know, we were pulling our head in. And then the rules kicked in. But anyone who's not working is getting money, so there's no money issues for Australians. I heard you cough.
Oh God, is that?
Yes, I've sent you an email. You just have to click it, and a virus will infect your computer. Your screen will fill up with fig leaves, pictures of men's large bottoms.
Sorry, I spelled it. Jeff spell check. I wrote fig leaf instead of fig leaf. Oh dear.
Yeah, so our kids have the option to go back to school next week. Different guidance, different rules, of course, but they don't have to go back.
I think Patty must still be out of action.
Yeah, she's probably still sore.
Yeah. It should be Princess Mystic Angels. What's with
Do you
this?
have any more of these?
No. What's with just this? Oh, okay. I'll give you a star for the hug. There you go. But I don't know where our star lady's gone, Mel. She's disappeared on us again. You been well, Chubbo? Ah. Mystic Angels. I just read that. I had the daughter-in-law and two granddaughters visit today. Sort of wore me out a bit. But it was good to see them. Oh, that's better. Yeah, we're good. Like I said, we had the daughter-in-law and two granddaughters visit today. Stayed most of the day, which is good. But it wore me out, made me tired. Oh.
The bargain I got today. Pork pie. Look at that.
And it's all yours, because I don't like them.
$1, normally $4. Someone's car alarm?
Yeah, an alarm going somewhere. Well, cleaned that. Did you find lots of stuff you'd forgot about?
Antibiotics. Look at the gelatine in there.
Yuck. So you changed tyres. You put normal tyres on instead of snow tyres, is that right, Chamo? Oh, okay. Do you like pork pies, do you, Chamo? I don't.
Yum.
Man, it's about 30 seconds lag. I remember the first time I got Mum and Dad to try them. Dad wouldn't eat them unless I warmed it up.
Your mum liked them.
Oh, so your snow's finally going away, eh?
spring has sprung in Canada. Beautiful weather, filled with black flies, coming soon.
Oh, yeah. What are their black flies equivalent to? We don't have anything like that here.
Like a March fly,
Yeah, but
they bite you.
have you noticed the last couple of years they haven't been as bad as usual?
Good summer. We had one of our daughters and two granddaughters come over today. Sort of a normal existence today. It was great. Gave them a big roast dinner, played. Yeah, so it was good.
I'll be going shortly to 16.
Well, it's 9 o'clock at night here, it's 20.
And
It's
it's
cold.
Cool. Yes, I'll be going to the blanket show, play a bit of Yahtzee and sleep. Oh, okay, still frozen. Permafrost, eh?
Ever thought of having raised garden beds, Shama?
Can't stop yawning.
Well, things are pretty
Oh.
good down here now. We've got very little spread of the disease, no deaths. So we're looking at reopening the schools as of Wednesday next week.
Next week.
You don't have to send your kids to school. They can do online learning, but you have the option to.
I was going to ask Jamo, when's your normal work would have started, Jamo? Because you have, how's your work a couple of months off or something, and you work a couple of months, or? I can't remember what you do, Jamo. Oh. Okay, don't build them then. Alright, have a good sleep. Hi.
Yep.
Oh, you should.
I'll give you a parting little sample for our good friend, our Anzac friend. Hi. The spirit will be with us. Hi. Won't be the same.
That when
We'll all be thinking.
when they play that bugle on Anzac Day, whatever it is, it sends chills, doesn't it? Give you goosebumps.
Let you remember those that have fallen. You'll hear it tomorrow. Well, today, where you are. Happy Anzac Day, my friend. Poor little puppy dog. I was reading an online business newsletter, and out of, I think, something like 2.5 million people working from home, and they're talking at least 500,000 will do that full time. It's a lot cheaper for a business not to have an office, like in the middle of the city. It's cheaper for them maybe once a month to hire a room and gather all their consultants together, just pay the one-off fee, but have most people work from home. So it's been a change here too. I think that will be pretty much where a lot of companies will be looking to try and save a few dollars, is not to pay, because here, if you rent even just a medium-sized office, it's $1,500 a week in the city. Yeah, that'll allow you flexibility if you're both working from home and you're retired, of course, and your fig leaf pension. Old man Chamo rowing out in the boat off the coast of Vancouver Island. Maybe you could buy a big boat, you know, start a GoFundMe or something. Or give Joe a call. Never know. Yeah, that's the beauty even now. I mean, I've been semi-retired for years, really. But most of our travel is, if we're going anywhere, it's done by plane. I've filled up my car with petrol, I think, 4 weeks ago. It's 3/4 full still, because no one's going anywhere. Doesn't matter how cheap gas is, it's not required. Hence the oil price. I did read somewhere that Saudi, Russia, and other producing oil countries have got nearly every tanker ship full, and there's nowhere else to put any of the stuff. Yeah, that's where the savings coming. She might even get paid a bit more to work from home, as the company will save money on office space, etc.
Was it a bee?
No, just a bit of pastry. I slobbered a bit. There's certainly going to be changes in the way people worked, whether they go into a place of work or they stay home. You get a lot more done working from home if you're online. If you're driving backwards and forwards a total of 2 hours a day, getting into the city, paying for a lunch in the city, big money. You know, most people would spend $10 to $20 a day on food, but there's $100 a week she'd save. And no gas. She can eat whatever she likes at home.
Buffering.
Am I? Oh well, can't do much about that. Yeah, and food, Shamo. She certainly would buy coffee, food, snacks. Like I say, I think the world will work a little bit different. We still need people to do the fundamentals. The commerce could be done mainly from online. Government departments. Yes, no matter where she goes, there's a little ray of sunshine. Da 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 da. we are going to tootle off. It's time for toodalooting. Good to catch up with the people we caught up with today. I know they're all still well, which is good. I hope you have a good day, Shamo.
Yes.
And anyone else that's watching, I hope
Yep,
you
the
have
lurkers.
a great day.
Bye,
Enjoy
lurkers.
yourself. Be smart, be safe, be careful. And on occasions when you can, be kind.
Night.
And good night for me. See you next time.